Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the What We Said podcast. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We missed you. It's been a couple weeks for us because we batched some episodes, but I'm excited to be back and yapping.
Me too. Feels like it's been years.
I know. That was a long time that we didn't see each other.
It really was.
Like, I don't think we really realized how our trips were going to be completely opposite of each other.
Yeah.
Like, you were going to leave and then I left literally the day you got back. And then when I got back, you left. Mm-hmm. So it's good to be back.
It is good to be back. Also, last week, or I guess 2 episodes ago, we had said, we're talking about the What We Said Wednesday thing. Like, okay, do we need to switch it to Wednesdays? The overwhelming consensus was no.
Yeah.
That they love the episodes on Tuesdays because I don't think a ton of episodes or podcasts maybe do come out on Tuesdays. I don't know if that's true, but people were saying like, no, my lineup
You're my
is
Tuesday episode.
You're my Tuesday podcast. And I was like, okay, that's good to know. So turns out that What We Said Tuesday is going to remain.
Yeah.
And I love that.
You know, it's a little unexpected. Mm-hmm. You got to keep it fresh.
You got to keep you on your toes.
Mm-hmm. I did see that as well.
Where to begin?
I don't know. Well, you begin because I feel like you had an exciting week of firsts.
A week of firsts of traveling and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you traveled with Benny, first flight. How was that? You left Benny for the first time.
Yeah.
We want to hear about that.
Okay. I'll get into all of that. So, well, I guess starting off, so I went to Santa Barbara. And that was my first time leaving Benny. It was a super short trip and it's not that far away. So I felt like it was kind of the perfect time to like dip my toes into, just leaving her with Leif. And obviously he is like more than capable and is great with her. So it's not like I was worried at all, but I was just like, okay, how's this going to feel? I don't know. It felt good. I felt like FaceTime is so nice. It really makes you feel like you're kind of there. I definitely did miss her. Like on the second day, I was like, okay, like I'm ready to definitely see her again.
Yeah.
But I FaceTimed them, all the time. And so it kind of felt like I was there. And it was a really great trip. I learned so much. I went with the brand Riel and wow. The way I would just lay my life on the line for this company at this point. When you like learn about something, you get obsessed and fixated. I've been using speaking of periods, since we were talking about that a few episodes ago, all of the stuff that I had ordered, like tampons, pads, all of that was Riel. I ordered it on Amazon, but I love them because they don't have like the synthetic ingredients and stuff. So I learned all about the brand and they're trying to be like an overall wellness brand, feminine wellness brand. So they have so many different good products, but yeah, I was just kind of off the tail of that, period conversation we had. I was just like, oh, it's so nice to know that we're not alone. Like women, we just go through so much postpartum. They were talking a lot about how all their products are like for postpartum women and they have like all these, stages of life in mind. So that was so nice. Super nice. It was very relaxing. It was very wellness focused. I did meet someone over the weekend. Please.
Meet cute.
No, I have to tell this story because it was just funny. So I met this girl and she was basically like, I'm trying not to give away too many. I'm going to keep it vague. Okay. But I met her and she was like, oh my gosh, I love your content. Like, it's so nice to meet you in person or whatever. And I hugged her. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, what's your name? So we were just talking and she goes, oh my gosh, Anne, you just got engaged. Show me the ring. And I'm like, putting my hand out like, hey. And I'm like, oh, I was kind of speechless. And I was also around a lot of people who knew like.
But you also just got a ring.
I did get a new ring, but and in my head, I'm like, but I haven't even posted about that. So I know it's not that. And anyway, so I like put out my hand but I'm with a bunch of people who know that I've been married for 9 years. So I'm just like, or 8 years at this point. No, so I go, oh no, I didn't actually get engaged, but I did just have a baby. Like I was thinking maybe she, And she's like, wait, what? She's like, did I miss a couple chapters? I was like, oh, maybe, I don't know. I was like, I've been married for a little bit, but I just had a baby a few months ago. No. And I could tell she just felt, I don't know, obviously just like, oh, what? And she was like, she was trying to dig in deeper. She's like, but wasn't there something with like a dress and Kendall? Like, and I'm like, I don't know. At this point, I had lost track. First of all, I've lost track of how many times Kendall Jenner's copied me. Okay, I'm like, girl, I don't even remember what was last.
Yeah.
But she was saying something about a dress, and I'm like, is she talking about
The pregnancy
announcement dress? And maybe she mistook that as an engagement. Clearly, she's not like, keeping up with the podcast and stuff and locked in, which is totally fine. But it was just this moment where I was like, I do not know what to say. Like, I have been actually married for 8 years. So I don't want to say that to you because then you're going to feel so embarrassed. But it was so funny. Literally, she's holding my hand, just like looking at my ring, like, congratulations on the engagement. And I'm just like, what? Shiz, I didn't know what to do. But in those moments, you always want to make them not feel awkward. So I was like
it's
trying
okay
to do damage
You
control.
don't know me. You don't really know me.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is hilarious.
But I was dying. I'm like, I don't know where to go from here.
But she did know Kendall.
She did know the Kendall lore.
So she knew you. I was thinking maybe she was mistaken.
Well, that's what I thought. I'm like, she thinks I'm a different influencer.
Yeah. But the Kendall of it all. It's like, who else would that be?
Yeah.
Kendall herself?
No, exactly. So then I
figure she's been real quiet.
She has been quiet.
She's been laying low.
I know.
Is it because you have been kind of laying low, so she has nothing to do?
No, exactly. She did dye her hair blonde though. So it's again, did she find a new?
She had to go back in the archives.
Totally. Oh, she's still copying me.
Yeah.
You're so right.
She had to go back in the archives. You haven't been posting as much like new content, new hair content. She's like, what the freak was supposed to do? She scrolled back to 2018.
So true. Imagine I make that my new bit. I'm like, she is still copying me, still finds a way to make it work. No, I do
6 years ago.
I do think that some people, because I was just talking about this with my brother, like, sometimes I forget how viral the Kendall thing was because people will literally like stop me on the street and it's for the Kendall thing. Yeah. It's not even because they really know me. It's like, oh, you're the girl who Kendall Jenner copies. I'm not kidding. That happens to me like in public, which is crazy
personality,
to me.
Almost like a meme.
Yes. Yeah. And I think it's as crazy as you go. Like, it's just a funny thing, but I sometimes forget that it was very viral. Yeah. And so, and like,
how humble of you.
We were looking the other day. So anyway, I was looking on Instagram. Kendall Jenner has, I think it was almost 300 million followers. And I'm like, sometimes insane. I forget that because she really is one of the most famous people in the world.
Yes.
So it's like, that's why it obviously was as big of a thing as it was. And my point is, I think that a lot of people, that's all they know me for. Mm-hmm. They truly like don't know anything else about me. And so I think that that's just their perception of me. And that's like what comes to mind. And so that girl probably has just seen a few of the Kendall videos and was like,
oh, an announcement.
Yeah, like an announcement. That was your engagement. Like, thinks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I obviously like don't care at all. I just thought it was funny.
That is hilarious. Oh, that is so awkward though.
Yeah.
Because you're like, I know you're feeling awkward, even though I should be feeling awkward, but I feel more bad for you.
Yeah.
Because I know you're just going to think about this interaction.
Yes.
And just be like, ugh.
Yeah, totally. So anyway, that was my Santa Barbara recap. It was super fun though. And then, I went to Arizona. But you went to Arizona before me.
Yeah, I did.
How was it?
It was so fun. My little brother got home from a mission. I know, like, it feels like I say that every 5 seconds.
Because you have so many siblings.
And they all so many siblings, and all of them have gone on a mission except for me. And so, he got home. He's the last one, though. He's the youngest. It was so fun to see him. It's so crazy that it's been 2 years because Case was 10 months old when he left. So he barely knew Case.
Yeah.
And then he's never met Elwood.
That's
now
crazy.
he has. So it was just a lot of fun to see him. And it's always like a little weird when they come home. You're like, are they going to be super weird? Are they going to be normal?
2 years is so long.
It's so long. You haven't seen them. Like, with Jess, we got to FaceTime him. Literally, I talked to him so much, so it didn't feel as weird as like when my other siblings came home, because my other siblings, I would write, like Lad and Clay, my oldest, I literally wrote them 2 letters.
Yeah, like actual physical letters.
Yeah,
too.
and
there was
and
no
kind of
option.
say like, hey, on Mother's Day when they could call. But now we FaceTime them, so I feel like I knew, more about him and just his vibe. And stuff.
Yeah. It's not like a complete shock when they come home as much anymore.
And he was pretty normal when he came home, so it was fun to see him and just spend time with the family. Like, our whole family was there for the first time in a long time, like all 6 of us.
Yeah.
So that was fun. I'm trying to think of anything else crazy that happened in Arizona. It was kind of just like family time, honestly. But
yeah.
Before I left, I sent in a little sample, and that sample was a mold sample. I put a little petri dish. I went.
Why did I think you were literally dropping new music? I'm like, a new sample? I thought you were saying like you sent a
like an EP.
Why did I think you were?
Oh, how I wish that was the sample I sent in.
Oh no!
Because I ordered these mold testing kits. So our friend Kate, she had a mold issue, so she's been my mold expert. And shout out you guys, because every time I've talked about my health stuff, getting sick, my swollen lymph nodes, I had my little rash thing. Like I've had so many different things. And a couple people will be persistent and be like, I swear you have mold. Like the brain fog, that's mold. Like you might have mold. I'm like, no. Like I don't. But I was like, let's test, because that's our bedroom. It's like our bedroom and our bathroom. Our main bathroom doesn't have that much ventilation. So I'm like, okay, I wonder if there's some kind of leak. I've been learning a lot about how mold, grows. And then I think it was like 2 weeks ago, I was cleaning out my closet. I was trying to find a boot, like these boots to wear. And they were hidden in the back of my closet, like under clothes. And I was like, oh my gosh, there those boots are. Like they were under in this dark corner, and I pulled them out and there was mold on them. Little mold spores. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, that has to just be like kind of I looked in the back. There was none on the walls. Like I was like, okay, that just had to be like they were wet or something.
Yeah. Well, first of all, just as a side note, mold needs moisture to grow, and it's moist in California.
Yeah.
And so when you're somewhere like, obviously we're both from Arizona, and it's like when you're somewhere like that, it's much harder for mold to grow because it's so hot
has to be
and
like
so
a leak
dry.
or something. Yeah.
Yes. But when there's constant moisture, it's like, ugh.
Yeah, they need to be, oh my gosh, it's so scary. So I was like, I just need to know if this is it so I can check it off. Because, I had, I've just been trying to figure out what the freak is wrong with me, mostly.
Yeah.
Why I keep getting so sick, why I've been feeling so off. And I'm like, I know I'm postpartum, but like I've been postpartum before. And this is not the same. So anyways, I just like, you set out these petri dishes. It tells you how to do it. I swabbed some like black mold that was on the tile in my shower that I'd seen. So I like swabbed some of that to see if it's toxic, and it like test it. And you get a free consultation with, not a free, definitely not free, consultation with like a mold expert to go over your results. So I sent that before I went to Arizona. And then when we came home, literally the day we got home, I got a email, and it was like, your mold results are in. And I was like, I'm positive.
No, shut up.
I have toxic mold in my bathroom.
Chelsey.
Toxic mold. I've been sleeping in there, and so has my baby. I've literally
Chelsey.
I haven't talked to my consultation person yet. I literally just missed their call, actually, like an hour ago. So they'll tell me what to do. But I feel two things: terrified, and like we know now. So obviously we just sleep in there, but that's a lot of time. So I moved Elwood out. I'm like, awesome. He's been sleeping in there. I don't think the mold was in there like the whole time we've lived there, because I have some theories of when the mold started or when it started to grow because of like some leaks. It has to be like something has to cause it to grow, like a lot, like a leak or a constant source of moisture. So, it's usually like a leak or like a hole in the wall. So then something, the rain or something like that.
I'm speechless.
And I think it's like something in our shower that happened like a couple months ago. So I wanted to wait until after I had the consultation to really like talk about it, but it'll be a while before then at that point, the point that we're recording this.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
So I was kind of doing my own research. I didn't want to do it too much because I was talking to someone. So I'm like, I don't want to go freak myself out of like what damage I've done to myself and my literal child. But the thing is that from what I understand, again, I do not know. I'm just speaking of what I've read. So don't take this as fact. Nick hasn't had that many like symptoms, but he will usually fall asleep on the couch and then come in. So he's in there for like half the night because he's kind of listening for like case. And then he also usually misses like, he tries to get like a more sleep. So he'll come in like not earlier in the night, like later in the night, earlier in the morning. And so he's only there for half the time, but he doesn't have like the symptoms that I do. So that's why I've been like, okay, maybe.
Well, I feel like it could also affect different people differently, right?
So it's like, what I understand, again, different toxic mold can be different. And like they tested for specific kinds of mold. I don't know if all mold's toxic or like how toxic some toxic, you know.
Yeah. The toxicity levels.
Brands of mold are. But it's like, yeah, some people can have like it's like an allergic reaction. And I feel like I've had it the worst. Like Elwood has not had anything, like he's developing totally fine. There's really nothing. Like sometimes he has, he'll be like a little stuffed up, which I'm like, you're literally a baby. Like, why are you getting stuff without getting a cold?
Yeah.
But nothing like crazy cause for, it's mostly me. Yeah. It's mostly like me with the rash, me getting literally the flu, like every month when no one I know has the flu, like going to the urgent care, like being like, why am I so sick all the time? Like, I don't understand. Now I was telling Nick, I feel so vindicated because I've been saying I've had the weirdest brain fog. Like I have had the weirdest feelings. Like I want to be healthy so bad and I will try and exercise and nothing seems to work. I feel so run down. And so, again, we'll see what I need to do from this point on. I'm going to ask the consultant about it. Like,
do you literally think you're going to have to move out of there for a little bit?
No. I mean, maybe for a little bit. Not like permanently, I don't think. Kate was saying, ask the consultant. They'll tell you like, okay, yeah, don't sleep in that room anymore. Or like, they might be like, it's not, that crazy. Maybe just have someone come in and whatever. I don't know. So I'm kind of just waiting to see. I'm not freaking out yet about it. They might just need to do that room. I didn't test any other rooms though, so I don't know how like far it's gone. Again, Case has not had any symptoms. It's not like our whole family's like, it's just me. But it's like I spend the most time in that bathroom. I'm showering in there, literally breathing. No,
you're doing like a steamer too, like
literally
taking deep breaths in the freaking shower,
washing my face, going to the bath. Like I do all of my self-care in there, just with the dark presence around me, this mold. So
that is equal parts, like validating and horrifying.
I don't even know how much it is, like, but they said so. Basically, I've only read the results, and it was like, okay, you put a petri dish, and then send it off.
If it continues to grow or something.
And they have like little colonies, they call them, like little circles, like on the petri dish, and of mold, and like they were like 1 to 5 colonies is like in the normal range, like 1 to 4 is in the normal range, not concerning. 5 to 9 colonies is like, okay, you might feel some symptoms, but it's not like super concerning. But like 9 or more, you need help.
How many?
22. 22.
Chelsey.
I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, so I'm so anxious to see what they're going to say. Please stay tuned. Pray for me.
Oh.
Pray for me. And I'm hoping this is on the up and up. I hope that, please don't flood these comments and be like, you're going to have to redo your whole house or something like that. If I have to redo the bath, or I have to talk to my landlord too and like see what they want to do about it or what they're going to do about it. But I also don't want to be like, I don't want to move.
No.
So if you could just like fix the bathroom, the ventilation. What I think it is the ventilation in the bathroom. There's no fan. So, and the window was broken for like 2 months. So there's a window in there. Anyway, so that's what I think really started it. But maybe there's a leak. But if they fix the leak and then they get rid of the mold that's there, then mold can't grow. So I'm hoping they can do that. And then I need to get an air purifier.
Yeah.
And probably a dehumidifier for my bathroom, but we'll see.
Well, now we're on the journey.
Now we're on the mold journey.
Oh my gosh. Well, I'm glad like you got some sort of answer, because there really is nothing worse than having some sort of symptom or problem and you're just like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yes, and I kept telling Nick, I'm like, I know I keep saying this every day. I don't feel good. I don't feel good. Like something's just like, I've been trying to run too. And, the thing is I went to Arizona and it's so dry there. So I was like feeling dry on my skin. I would wake up, no scratchy throat. And I'm like, okay. And my mouth taping I've been like mouth taping every night, and still like if I mouth tape in California, I have itchy throat. There, no itchy throat. Like I was like getting like, in Arizona when you go, it's just like dry, kind of like
switch
boogers
climates
and stuff. But I was like, I feel better than I did there.
Oh no.
Isn't that so bad?
That is so obnoxious. Like, I just hope that your landlord is receptive to it and wants to help and is like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
I just feel like sometimes with some situations, they're just like, well,
I know.
like I don't live there.
I know.
It costs money, you know?
Yeah.
I really hope that they're like proactive and want to help.
Yeah.
And like,
I know I want to tell them like, we don't want to move. Like, I don't even like that I have to tell you this. I wish I didn't, but like, because I'm sick. Like, if I wasn't even have any, you know.
Have you researched at all about like
how to fix
what they usually have to do for toxic mold or no?
I was telling Kate this because Kate has given me more information than the internet has, because it's like how to fix mold, get rid of it, and then don't let it grow again. I'm like, okay, so how do you get rid of it? It's like, make sure that you find the source and then get rid of it. I'm like, but what do you mean get rid of it? Like, you scrape it off?
Yeah, like
vacuum it out? You scrub it off? Like, what do you mean? I know there's companies that do it, but I don't know that much about it, so we'll see.
I'm sure there are like specialty companies, and I know it's common in California, so they've got to have like resources that can help a lot. But that is just so disheartening also, because you love that house so much.
I know.
You know, it's not like you're like, oh, well, we're ready to move anyway and we need a bigger spot. It's like, no, this is just...
We have to wait for them to like fix it. Yeah, I know. So stay tuned. But I've been like, okay, so now whenever I was like sleeping in there last night after I got the results, I'm like, I'm not going to sleep. Like, maybe I should move rooms. But I'm like, I also don't know yet. Like, what I'm supposed to do. So I love my bed.
Yeah. Maybe you can move your bed to like the guest room or something. I mean, that'd be so annoying. It won't fit in there.
I've thought about that. I'm like, because I moved Elwood into the guest room for now. I'm like, okay, well.
Yeah.
Stay freaking tuned, but I don't have a bed in there. I guess you can't even call it a guest room because I don't have any guest accommodations.
Yeah.
But, I know. We'll see. We shall see. But yeah, it's weird because Kate was saying the same thing about like her family, like her husband didn't really get that much. And that's how I feel. I'm like, why is my immune system like this? Like Nick has not really, again, he's not in the shower. Like he's not in the bathroom as much. He does his bathroom stuff in the other bathroom. So I feel like when I'm just in the bathroom, I'm taking those long showers every day. I don't know. And you know how like they say like the vapor, you breathing that into your lungs is like the best and fastest way to absorb things.
Yeah, and you're literally breathing
doing mold.
Goodbye.
And into the largest organ of my body, my skin. Just like bathing in it. Oh, it's so bad.
That is so bad. Well, you can come use my bathroom anytime.
Thank you.
I just got my guest room bed, so you come
really?
sleep over anytime.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm literally here. I'm like, really? I want to come see.
No, I know. It's exciting getting stuff moved in. But yeah, that is wow. I was not expecting that update.
No, me neither. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp. This month is all about gratitude, and we need to be grateful for the people in our life that stick by us, that listen to us when we complain. I know my friends and family definitely have to get an earful sometimes, especially if I need to talk something out, if I'm feeling overwhelmed. I just like to yap. Nick especially is really good at just sitting down and listening and validating me, letting me vent without having to solve it after much training. But there's another person that we don't get to thank enough, and that is ourselves. Sometimes it's hard to remind ourselves that we're trying our best to make sense of everything. And in this crazy world, that isn't always easy. So here's your reminder to send some thanks to the people in your life, and that includes yourself.
Therapy can really be helpful for an array of different things. It can help you learn positive coping skills. It empowers you to be the best version of yourself. It's also not just for those who have experienced major trauma. I do feel like that's a misconception about therapy, is that you've had to go through some specific, very traumatic event in your life to benefit from therapy, but you can just do it if you're trying to live your best life. You know, you want to get some tips, learn some new coping skills, like I mentioned, or if you have a situation that's stressing you out in your life and you just want some licensed help, it can be super, super helpful. So if you are thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It is entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. You just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/whatwesaid today to get 10% off your first month. That is BetterHelp, HELP.com/whatwesaid. Something that can be a sneaky little thing that drains your bank account is subscriptions. If you are subscribed to a lot of things, honestly, I feel like it's very easy to forget about subscriptions. Maybe you signed up for something once to get a free trial of it or something, and then you forgot about it, and it is charging you month after month. And that is going to drain your bank account, even if it's little by little. Those little things and those expenses make a huge difference. And that is why we love Rocket Money. Rocket Money has really enhanced my life. And so I really love that they're a sponsor because they are just so helpful. It is a personal finance app that helps you find and cancel your unwanted subscriptions, monitors your spending, and helps lower your bills so you can grow your savings. Like I said, if you have subscriptions that you forgot about or you maybe are paying twice for something, that's Chelsey and I have both had that experience. And it can feel very overwhelming to have to go through all your subscriptions and call customer service and figure out how to cancel each one of them. And Rocket Money just does all the heavy lifting for you. So you can see all of your subscriptions in one place, know exactly where your money is going. And for any you don't want anymore, Rocket Money can help you cancel them with a few taps.
Rocket Money's dashboard gives you a very clear view of your expenses across all your accounts. I love to go. It's very satisfying to go look at them all and to really, face your finances. So you can easily create a personalized budget with custom categories to help keep your spending on track, which is really nice because sometimes when you look at your bank, if you see random little transactions and, they don't really specify what they're for, it's nice to go through and organize them all and just know exactly where all of your money is going. And Rocket Money helps a ton with that. Rocket Money will even try to negotiate lower bills for you. So sometimes by up to 20%. They automatically scan your bills to find opportunities to save. Then you can ask them to negotiate for you and they'll deal with the customer service. Rocket Money has over 5 million users and has saved a total of $500 million in canceled subscriptions, saving members up to $740 a year when using all of the app's features. So stop wasting money on things that you don't use. Cancel your unwanted subscriptions by going to rocketmoney.com/whatwesaid. That's rocketmoney.com/whatwesaid, rocketmoney.com/whatwesaid.
Okay, keep us
yeah, don't fearmonger
in.
me in the comments, okay? Just give me uplifting words. Don't tell me I'm gonna have to move out of my house or something. I'm staying very positive that it's gonna be able to be fixed and maybe we'll have to all sleep in the family room or something, but
I'm hoping that they can figure that out.
Yeah.
I really do wonder how long it's been there.
I know.
Because did you feel like you were sick from the very start of you moving there?
No.
Or it was just a few months ago,
it's just been
right?
probably 5 months. A couple months after Elwood was born. So
maybe that's when it began.
Yeah.
That's what we can hope for.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if I know I had some updates. Oh, do you know what I wanted to talk about that I did in Santa Barbara was I got a color analysis done.
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
And it was so interesting. It's, it's just they drape different colors over you basically and tell you what colors look best with your skin tone. Also, it's just their opinion really.
Yeah.
And it's also your own opinion. She was asking me oh, do you like the way this looks or this looks better? And you don't want to take it as Bible. It's not okay, I can never wear these certain colors again and I can only wear these or whatever. You just do what you will. But it was interesting to see. And it was kind of crazy how she would show me what they start with is if you're warm toned or cool toned, if which one looks better on you.
Yeah.
So they have different shades of a certain color. So they'll do a cool toned pink and then a warm toned pink. And mine 100% I looked better in warm tones.
Really?
So yeah. I think because I have more cool skin tone, I have a more pale look, so the warmth of the warmer tones, just kind of makes me look a little bit more warm and alive. Whereas the cool tones on top of my cool skin tone, I think kind of just washes me out.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting thing to look at. And then she was just showing me different colors that look good on me. My results were spring colors, and then my second were autumn. I thought I was going to be an autumn. I thought that's what
I feel that's
people
classic redhead.
Yes. But what was interesting is I had to cover my hair for the whole thing because she was if that's not your natural color, then that skews the results. We're going off of skin tone. So I had a white thing over my head. So I couldn't even, I thought hair color would play into the colors that look good on me.
Interesting.
But she said that if it's not your natural, you need to look at your just natural tones.
Yeah.
So anyway.
That's very interesting.
But it was also interesting how she was saying black isn't great on me. It's not one of my best. But she's saying if you do wear dark, specifically these really dark contrasting colors, it's better that you're not wearing a turtleneck. Because if you're wearing a black turtleneck and it's super close to your face, it just is, it's really contrasting because you're fair. Whereas if you have an off the shoulder black thing, it will look better on you.
Oh, interesting.
So I thought that was interesting that it doesn't look as good if on me particularly. Like that's not everyone. Obviously, everyone has different results. But she was also saying like if you're gonna wear gray, a light heather gray looks better on you specifically than like a charcoal gray.
Interesting.
And just things like that. And it was funny because when I was packing for that trip, I have this charcoal gray sweater. I actually wore it very recently. I think I don't know if I wore it on a podcast episode, but I was like planning outfits for my trip, and I was debating between this charcoal gray sweater or this denim shirt that I had that's like lighter denim. And I took photos of them in my closet mirror, and the denim just 100% looked better.
Yeah.
Like I was like, this looks way better on me. And then when she said that, I was like, that was one of the colors that like looks good on me is denim and light denim and stuff. Sorry for the YouTube watchers where lady is infiltrating and then leaving. It was interesting to me because on that that sheet that she gave me, denim, like kind of a lighter blue, and there were certain tones of blue that looked better on me, and then gray wasn't even really one that looks that good on me. So I was just like, that is so true, because I'm so drawn to basically the colors that she was showing me. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Like that's kind of what I lean towards. But
was pink on there?
Pink, yeah, it was, but it was kind of warmer tone pinks too, like more salmon-y and stuff than like
Jaci Marie preset vibes.
Cool. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was fun. And she was saying that gold jewelry looks better on me, but if I'm going to do silver to like mix, not to ever, well, she wasn't like, you can't, but she was just saying if you want to add,
like soften it up.
Yeah. Kind of mix metals instead of doing all silver, specifically for my skin tone and stuff. So I thought it was fun. It was just like interesting to,
That's
and again,
so
it's
fun.
just an opinion. It's not like you have to live and die by like, oh, now I'm never going to wear dark gray or black. But I'm like, that does make sense to me, because I feel like a black turtleneck on me like does not look as good as giving myself some space and showing some skin, like a lower cut black thing or just something away from my face a little bit. So I was like, okay, that's good to know.
That tracks.
Yeah, that tracks. And then she was saying even with like white, like ivory or cream looks better on me than like stark white, which I also completely agree with.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, I think that's true. So it's kind of fun to keep in mind, because now I'm just like, when I'm buying stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm kind of keeping the warm toned thing in my head.
Yes.
And she was saying also like I can go for very bold colors and it will look good. And so that was kind of like, I feel like I've been doing that a little bit more recently too, where I'll wear like a red sweater or whatever. So anyway, yeah, it was fun.
Nice.
It was cool.
That's good, because then when you're shopping, and I do this sometimes, like, oh, I should branch out.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's a reason you're not branching out all the time. It's because you don't feel cute in it.
Totally.
And it's not your color.
And I feel like even, again, like I'm saying, it's almost the tones of the colors that matter.
Yeah.
More
than like orange. It's like a kind of orange.
Exactly. So I'm like, it's good to kind of keep the tone thing in mind when I'm shopping or going through my closet, because it definitely tracks. Like all the things she was saying. I was like, yeah, I just feel like that is a better vibe on me. And I was happy that my ring's gold, because I'm like,
imagine you just get
my old one was silver. So I'm like, okay. I'm glad that I chose right on the on the color.
Definitely.
But yeah, it was fun. So I feel like that's a fun thing to do, like to get a little color analysis done as like an activity.
Yeah.
At whatever, an event or something.
No, it's nice to do in person too. Mm-hmm. Someone did it for me on TikTok, and I was like, oh, excuse me. But I bet like doing it on where you can actually see your skin would be so nice.
Yeah, it was fun.
Changes the way you shop. Our friend Macy, she got it done, and she was telling me all about it, like how it's literally like made her shopping experience so much easier, because it's first of all, it narrows it down, but then it's like, oh, that color looks great on me, and I like that color. So perfect.
You know what a color was? I feel that, and one color that she said looked good on me that I was like, when she was draping it, I was like, oh, it actually does, is yellow. Like I usually am like, no. Like yellow does not look good on me because of my skin tone. But again, it's the tone. Yeah. It's the tone that matters. And like a certain butter yellow actually looks like it looked really pretty with my skin like and your my eyes. Dress. Yeah.
Looked really good.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, that's good to know. And certain colors would also like make my eyes look different. Yeah. That's just how it is for everyone. But I'm like, oh, that is so interesting how it really does like make your eyes pop if you wear certain colors.
Color theory.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So anyway, that was my color analysis.
Fun.
Thing
Spring.
Yeah. Spring colors, apparently.
Isn't there 3 kinds of spring too? Did she tell you like that or no? It was just more like the season.
Yeah. You know what? There were like...
There's like true, bright, and deep or something.
Yeah. Oh,
right?
What was mine? Shoot, I can't remember if it was true or bright. It was one of those though.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
I love watching those things.
Yeah,
on
they're fun.
TikTok, like the color analysis when they do it. I can never tell. They're like, which one looks better? I'm like, I don't know.
I know.
Now you're making me second guess. Like, I think that one,
Yeah.
but I don't know.
I know. That's why they're like experts who do it or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what their credentials are, but they do it a lot. So
like, they'll be like, which one looks better? I'm like, oh, that one. Like in my head, I'm thinking, oh, that one looks good on her. Like, you see how this one makes her look sickly? I'm like, oh.
You're like, oh, oops. But you know when you sometimes get dressed and you're like, I just don't like this outfit.
Yes. No, 100%.
It maybe is the color a lot of times. It's just like, this color's not doing anything for me.
And that's how I feel about certain colors of pink on me that I hate, unfortunately.
Well, I wonder if cooler tone or warmer tone looks better on you.
I don't know.
What would be your guess? Or what did the person say that did it for you?
I think they said I was a winter, which I think is cool toned.
Okay.
So I don't know what that would be.
Yeah.
I know like deeper colors look better on me.
Well, you know what else?
Because I'm high contrast, I think.
Okay.
Or maybe I'm like medium to high contrast. I'm not like the highest of contrast because I have like jet black hair, but looks like it. Honestly,
something else that you can like, I don't know if this, I'm just making this up as something I took from it, is like, I feel like you can also pick better makeup colors when you kind of know the tones that look good.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's like, okay, cool tone foundation or whatever looks good because it like matches my actual skin, but then like blushes and stuff like that, I think is better to be like more corally and warm toned for me. And my friend Kensington, she was on the trip. She's super cute and she's amazing at makeup. And she was like, I also feel like, we weren't talking about color analysis, and I'm going off on a kind of a tangent, but she was like, we were talking about lip colors, and I was saying how lately I've been kind of going for more of like this corally color, and I actually think it looks, because normally I just go for like the pink nude that I always have, but lately I have this like just warmer tone thing, blush and lip color that I've been doing. And she was like, I also feel like a berry color would look really good on you with like your hair and your skin tone. And I was just thinking about the color analysis thing. It's like, if I now go for more like bold and warm lip colors, I think they would actually look good on me versus like maybe sometimes if I don't like a lip color, it's too like mauve-y or like cool tone.
Yeah.
Where on me, it looks better to like warm up my face. Yeah. So things like that, I think it's like just fun to know.
To experiment with.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I need to see. I didn't look at my makeup, but it was just like similar vibes to like, who's that girl? I mean, everyone who has my freaking, all my doppelgangers, like honestly, like Avengers Unite. That's what it feels like. You know what I need to be for next year for Halloween, speaking of doppelgangers, is Noel from Great British Baking Show.
100%.
I need to be him for Halloween.
100%. You know what? When I was in Arizona, I hung out with Caitlin, our friend, and we were talking about Chester and Jasper, and she was like, you need to make them an Instagram, first of all. Mm-hmm. And then she was like,
I miss them.
I was telling her how the lore just grows every year. It's like, okay, last year we were, Chester and Jasper, or 2 years ago, whatever, they were in Hawaii and they were married still, but they were complaining about their naggy wives. And then like this year they're divorced, and the lore just keeps growing. And like we have ideas for how it can continue to grow. And she was like, just saying how she's like, every 6 months they just need to like pop up, like for Valentine's Day. It's like, hey guys, and I'm like, can you imagine? They just log on. Shoot. They just log on to the podcast. Like, and hey. Me and Leif were like going just further and further with it. We're like, Chester and Jasper start their own podcast, like get signed to Dear Media. And then he's like, imagine you have to do that weekly, like the bald caps and stuff.
No.
Can you even imagine?
No, I can't. The makeup of it.
But I was dying. I'm like, why do I literally miss them when they're gone?
I know.
It's an alter ego that is a literal part of me. And I was telling Caitlin and her fiance, I'm like, it's so funny because I'll get stressed every year. I'm like, wait, what was Jasper's accent even? Like what? I can't even remember. The second that bald cap is on my head and the mustache is placed, I'm like, I know exactly who he is.
We are different people. It literally, I watched the video of us on Tyson's. I made the whole car ride. I made the whole car listen on our way down, which was literally just Abby and Nick because the boys were asleep. I put on the podcast and I was just cracking up, and they thought it was funny, but like I was cracking up at ourselves because I was just like,
we're dumb. We're the dumbest
we
people.
are so dumb. We are idiots, but it was so funny. Like, it's just the inside jokes of it. I don't even care if anyone else thinks it's funny because I genuinely was like, oh my gosh, this is gold. This is like a treasure.
I feel the same way. It's all these
So
like
funny.
hidden inside jokes too within the skit that are
And
just
it's kind of like you have to be in the room to
know.
be funny.
I know. It's the dumb. Trust me, we know we're the dumbest people alive.
Thing, but it's so fun. I never want to stop.
No, I never want to stop. It's
Yeah.
like, and also it's so carefree being an ugly man where it's just like, I don't care what I look like.
Yeah.
I don't care if the joke I made is stupid because that's part of the bit.
Yeah.
It's just something so special. I was dying laughing, looking back at everything. And yeah, I'll miss them until next year.
I know, until next October. Hopefully it comes fast.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see them again.
Me neither.
They're such joys.
The joy they bring.
Yeah.
We're going to jump into an ad to talk about one of our new favorite sponsors. Personally, I'm obsessed with Posh Peanut. They actually just sent me a pair of my own pajamas, and they are so incredibly soft. It's a really pretty blue color. They're so stretchy and so nice feeling. So I also love Posh Peanut, obviously, for the kids. Elwood has a couple pairs and Case has a couple pairs. They have the cutest prints ever, and their clothes are so incredibly soft. Posh Peanut makes their clothes really super stretchy and colorful, so they grow with your kids. Something that's really annoying is if you buy them pajamas, especially when they're a little tiny baby, sometimes they only last for like 2 months before they're growing into a new size. So you want them to stretch so you can get your money's worth. And Posh Peanut has so many different styles, so many different prints to choose from for your little ones.
Their pieces are made with ridiculously soft viscose from bamboo that stays soft even after you wash them over and over again. And their high quality fabric is 4 times stretchier than cotton, so it grows with your child. It is also breathable and chemical free, which means they're delicate on your baby's sensitive skin. It's made for infant and kids, but they also have sizing for moms and dads if you want the whole family to match. And if you're not a parent, consider this the perfect gift idea for any little one. Posh Peanut is loved by over 1 million parents and also adored by all your favorite celebrities and influencers. We can't say their names, but if you know, you know. Right now, Posh Peanut is offering our listeners 20% off your first order with promo code WhatWeSaid. Go to poshpeanut.com/whatwesaid and use promo code WhatWeSaid for 20% off your first order. That is poshpeanut.com/whatwesaid, promo code WhatWeSaid.
When it comes to fall and winter, it can be easy to just kind of be inside a lot. You realize after a week, you're like, wait, I haven't seen the sun. I haven't been out in fresh air. I haven't touched nature. I haven't touched grass. So it always feels nice to get out and connect with nature. Not only is getting out and, being in nature, smelling, breathing in the fresh air, that's very important for your health, but also using fresh ingredients, derived straight from nature in our food and drinks, and also putting it on your skin. If you are like me and you want to be very careful about the products that you put on your skin to, take care of your skin's needs, Pharmacy is for you. We absolutely love Pharmacy. They're a new sponsor of the podcast. And their honey vanilla lip smoothie is absolutely amazing. It is the best lip stuff. When I went to Arizona recently, I get so dry, especially my lips. My lips instantly get chapped like the second I cross the state border. And I was lathering that stuff on my lips. And at night, I would use the Honey Halo moisturizer from Pharmacy as well. That is really good for nourishing and plumping your skin for like that dewy skin look and long-lasting moisture.
Pharmacy makes their products with actively rich, real ingredients like fresh apples, papaya, and honey. Eco-conscious, sustainable packaging also is important to them, which is amazing. And for their honey products, they use pure unfiltered honey harvested sustainably and ethically in small batches for optimal potency and bee health, which we really appreciate. I really love Pharmacy in general. They have so many great products, and I feel like everything they have just makes my skin feel so hydrated and dewy. And I love the ingredients that they use as well. So drench your skin in honey hydration. Visit pharmacybeauty.com and use code WhatWeSaid for 20% off your order. That is 20% off your order at pharmacybeauty.com with code WhatWeSaid.
I had the most strange interaction the other day. I was walking past the library, and this woman comes up to me and she's looking at the library doors, and she's like trying to see they were locked. Mm-hmm. And she was like, "Excuse me, She's like, is this closed? I was just like walking by. I was going to the next building. I was like, oh, I don't know. And I tried to kind of look at the door to see what time it's, said it was going to be open. And then I go to look at my phone. She was like, no, don't tell me what time it is. But can you tell me if it's like 15 minutes till 10? Is it like 9:15? I'm like,
huh?
Okay. Like, you don't want to know what time it is. So then I'm like sitting there. I literally froze. I'm like looking at the time.
A riddle. You're
it's
like
9:39. I'm like, okay, is it a quarter till 10? Almost, I guess. So I'm like, I think it's closed. I just say, I think it's closed. She's like, okay, is it like almost 10? Like, will they be opening soon? I'm like,
what?
Yeah. And then I walked away. I'm like, what, did I just come upon a troll on a bridge? Like, that's trying to get me to solve a riddle before I go somewhere? She's like, don't tell me what time it is. No, I don't want to know what time it is.
Why?
But can you tell me if it's like 15 minutes past 9 or like quarter till?
What?
I do not know why. It was so bizarre.
I'm racking my brain trying to think of what reason.
I'm like, does the time give you anxiety? Like, you don't want to know. You just never, like, you don't go by time. You don't subscribe to society's standard of time. So you're just like, no, I don't care. But like, I want to go to the library.
What?
Yeah, it was so
bizarre. That's the weirdest thing ever. Don't tell me
I
what
literally
time
froze.
It is.
She's like, don't tell me what time it is. I'm like, how do I say this without telling you what time it is?
You're like, there's a 9.
I'm like, gotcha.
3.
Yeah.
Literally. She like melts.
Yeah.
Like, what is
I'm
happening?
like, what's 10 minus 1? Bring the 9. Like, how am I supposed to tell you what time it is without can I just tell you it's 9:39?
What? That is so
It was
weird.
so bizarre. But it was funny.
What in the? That is so.
But I walked away
random.
very confused.
Yeah.
Also, can we talk about
over?
Can we talk about something? We need to address something.
What?
I came over, you guys, to Jaci's house like a week ago. And I sat on this very couch and we're talking about children's books, right? And we're just like talking about how funny some of them are and like how weird some of them are. Jaci's like, some of them are so dumb. Like, I have this book. Someone gave us this book. And it makes no sense. It literally is the dumbest plot. Like, it has no morals. Like, it has no not moral. What's the like?
No message.
No message. No whatever. No moral to the story. Like, there's no point. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so funny. Yeah, sometimes like
the ending is so unsatisfying. Yeah. Like, I'm like going in, by the way.
Yeah, like it's the dumbest book.
It's the actual dumbest book I've ever read.
And then I'm like, oh my gosh, it might be the one I got you or something. Haha. Because I got Benny a book for her baby shower. And then Jaci's like, I gotta go get it. She brings out. I'm like, and that would be the book that I gifted you. Jaci's like, no, it's not. So I'm like, no. And I had a feeling. It's literally called like Bunny Roo. Like, I was like, oh, this is so cute. I didn't read the book before, but I was dying. I'm like, that is mine.
You know what? The illustrations are so cute. I was telling her, I'm like, the illustrations are so cute, and the
pictures,
just picture or like the front of the book, everything is really cute about it. However, and who cares, right? Benny doesn't care about the story and the moral, but on behalf of me reading it, it's so unsatisfying the way it ends, because it like kind of all, you want a book to like either rhyme or like kind of come to a conclusion. And the way that this book ends, I can't explain it unless you've read it, but it's just like, and you are you're my love, better than all the animals in the world. But it doesn't rhyme, or like it's just so confusing, the whole book.
Yeah.
And anyway, I was dying. I'm like, not me ripping into this. I'm like, oh, you definitely didn't give it to me. I'm like, it's this one. She goes, yeah, that's what I got you. I'm like, you're joking.
Like, couldn't let it rest either. It's not like, there's just one. She's like, I gotta show it to you. Brings it out. She's like, this is the dumbest book. Like, good thing. Okay.
It's very cute.
It is really cute.
So I'll keep it.
I will say some of those little kid books, I was saying this before you even showed me the book. I'm like, some of the the baby books that are
thicker.
Thicker are great for babies because they can't like get a paper cut. They can't turn
rip
the pages.
the pages.
They're great. The pictures are cute, but a lot of them don't really
make any sense.
Like, there's one that Case loves, and he literally can recite the whole thing. But when he was reciting it, I'm like,
you're like, what is this actually?
What does this mean? It's like this tugboat goes on this journey, but it's really not a journey. It's like he helps the other boats, and the boats help him, and they sing him a lullaby. And the great big ocean liner gives Tug a hug. It's like, okay, and what is
and
going
where, it's so true.
And why did he give him a hug? It's cute, but like,
just there's no like ending resolution. It's just
it's just there's a boat.
Yep. Yeah.
And I guess maybe that's all babies really can comprehend. Like they can't learn a life lesson from them, but there's other books to compete with that are really cute.
Right.
And have really great meanings and are just fun to read.
Yeah.
It's like Goodnight Moon. Mm-hmm. Have you read that one?
I haven't read it recently.
It is literally just nonsense. It's like, good night, moon. Good night, nothing. Good night, bowl of mush. I mean, it's like saying good night to things, but
yeah, it's just kind of like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, what are we doing? Why is the bunny in this house? And why are there cows jumping over the moon? Like,
yeah, I guess it doesn't. You know what? And that's a lesson for me. It doesn't need to make sense. Just read the kid the book.
Just look at the pictures.
Speaking of books,
enjoy the view.
Yeah. Enjoy the journey.
Yeah.
Speaking of books, though, there's the cutest book that my mother-in-law got for Leif and I when we told her we were pregnant. And like shortly after, maybe it was, I don't remember exactly when, but she got it for us when I was pregnant. And it's called We Waited for You. And it is the sweetest book. I'll put it on our Shop My thing, if I can. And
I'll link Bunny Roo as well.
Don't worry. We got you all covered. It is the sweetest book specifically about infertility. It's like talking about how, basically like the beginning is kind of just talking about like, oh, it seemed like everyone had a baby. We would go to the zoo and see the zoo animals with their babies, and like we would see our friends with their babies, and like basically, and we didn't know if we would have a baby. And then, but it's all like really cute illustrations and words. And then at the end, it's like, obviously we got you. And it's just the sweetest book. If you know anyone who's like gone through infertility or got pregnant from IVF or like fertility treatments, I think it is like the sweetest gift. So
have you read it to her?
I haven't read it to her yet, actually, because
you got to probably prepare yourself.
Oh, I will not be okay. It's not necessarily like for bigger kids, but it is like the thinner pages, and it's a bigger book. So it's not like a little tiny baby book, but it is just the sweetest little story. So
I get so choked up when I read certain books. Honestly, maybe it's better to read the books that don't have the morals, because those other books, it's like there's one called My Mom and Me or something. I think it's called My Mom and Me. I think it's a Jellycat book. Like they have a bunch of books, but it's just so sweet. It's like something. It's about a mom and a baby.
Yeah.
And I can't get through that whole thing. I'm just like, oh my gosh, this is so sweet. Or anything, it's like, and my dad's my hero. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like there's one about a little lion and getting courage. And it was like, at the end, it was like, you're the most courageous of all because you care for others. I'm like literally tearing up. I'm like, okay, this is so sweet and so cute. And I know this book gets a bad rap because it's creepy or whatever, but
the like always and forever my baby will be or something. Is that what you're talking about?
That book is so sad. It is like, you cannot read that. It is so sad.
Why is it creepy?
It's not sad. It's very sweet, but it's just like, wow, okay.
It's like the circle of life, right? Because it's like him is what's
it's
creepy about
because
it.
The illustrations, the girl's like spying on her son or something. It's like, she's like peeping over the bed. It's like, and when you like, I'll get a ladder and crawl into your window and hold you and say like, I love you forever. Love you for always, as long as I'm living, my baby you'll be or something. Yeah. It's like, you guys read between lines. I don't think they actually mean that. Like, let's go back to literature class, okay?
Yeah. I haven't read that book in like a million years either.
Yeah. I mean, the illustrations are a little
creepy.
Yeah, if you look at it from like that perspective, it's like, okay, why is the grandma's literally like peeping over the bed when they're like a teenager or something? Yeah. But it's cute. It's like, I thought I lived in a zoo and you're a teenager, but like you'll always be my baby. And then it gets to when he's an adult and she like goes to his house. That's when she crawls in his window and holds you. But it's kind of like the sentiment is like, even when you're an adult, you're my baby.
Yeah.
And then it goes to when the grandma, the
mom origination of the boy mom.
Yeah, literally.
The villain origin story starts here, actually.
But it's not even really like, it's for both. Like even if you have a daughter, I feel like if you read it, it's the same thing. It's not like gender specific. I mean, it is a boy in the illustration, but
no, it is so cute though.
It's so cute.
It's so sweet.
And then at the end, he's holding his mom, and he's like, "My mama, you'll be," or like, it's so sad.
No, I'm gonna sob. That is so.
It's so sad. And if you know, the author of the book, I think his wife like had a stillbirth, and that's why he wrote the book. It was like, it was something really. I don't know exactly the situation, but I know he like wrote it for his wife, like about like their babies or something, or maybe she had miscarriages, so it was kind of just like, I don't know, a sentiment for his wife in some way. But he didn't mean it in a creepy way. But it's so sad. It's like I literally can't like finish it sometimes. I'm like, oh, we're gonna have to spice this up. Let's get Lightning McQueen out. Like, I'm gonna have to read about. Yeah, let's read about the tug giving the ocean liner a hug for some reason.
Yeah, there are so many good children's books.
Yeah,
that was literally like one of my a theme kind of my baby shower. Which, by the way, sorry, it's pitch black in here. We're filming at a much later. We're filming at a much later time, and anyway, it's dark in my house now.
I forgot about that.
What was I just saying?
The book. Your theme of your baby shower is to bring a book, and that's why I brought you that book. And
yeah. And that's what started our friendship breakup. For my baby shower, my request was that everyone would bring a book for Benny's nursery to like build her nursery. And just an idea if anyone wants to steal it, because I think that books are like, that is one of my favorite or most excited things I was most excited about in becoming a parent, is like being able to read my kids' books. I just loved reading books growing up. Like I was obsessed, and my mom read to me so much, and she read to my brothers all the time. I would read to my brothers all the time. And so I just love children's books. And so that was something that we did at my shower that I thought was super cute. And it was nice because I got a bunch of books for her to like, different books.
Yeah. Baby books are so cute.
They're
Sometimes
so cute.
I'm like, wow, I could really write this. Because it was.
I think you could have written Bunny Roo.
Oh, for sure. Actually, I don't know. Maybe a work of art.
Watch someone comment and be like, that's the cutest book ever. Like, you're so annoying.
I need to.
Not
I
me
actually
just like
need to read
nitpicking every. I think really what it was is that it didn't.
Rhyme.
I was excited for the ending because I was like, oh, it's gonna wrap it all together and like be a cute thing, and then it felt like it just like left me on this cliff. Where I'm like, where did the ending come in?
Yeah,
where was the like satisfying part of it?
Yeah, the book "Are You My Mother" from like our childhood even.
Oh wait, yes.
I'll find books that I liked when we were little kids, or like that I remember, and then when I'm reading them to Case or to Elwood, I'm like, huh?
yeah.
Because they make no sense a lot of times. Like, "Are you my mother?" It's like, okay, my mother went to go give me food. I jumped down. I went to a kitten. Are you my mother? No. Like, I went to this. Are you my mother? Then it comes across an excavator, and it's like, it was a big snort, and the snort lifted me up to my nest, and then my mom came back. It's like,
a big what?
a snort. It calls it a snort.
What is a snort?
Like an excavator. It's like, oh, it's a big snort. Like, you're not my mother. And then it lifts it up into its nest and puts him back. And then his mom comes back, and it's like,
what?
Okay.
Like
again, it's like, okay.
There's this.
Did he learn anything along this journey, or he just kind of went around the block and came home?
Just asked, and then
you're here.
You're here. Here we are.
Yes, I'm your mother. You're my mother.
For instance, there's a book that I read to Benny. It's like about a goodnight kiss. And then like at the end, it gives you the opportunity. It's like, and this kiss is for you. Good night. And I'm like,
oh, cute.
See? And that's the resolution.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and then I give her a kiss, and then it's good night.
We need action.
Yeah. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like something to tie it all together. Mm-hmm. Anyway, I didn't plan to talk about children's books for 2 hours.
No, it's
but
my
here
Roman
we are.
Empire. Like Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. Mm-hmm. That book, I don't know why. It's so catchy, but I'm like, what is this about? It's like the alphabet went up a coconut tree, fell out. Okay.
You think you fell out of a coconut tree? Yeah. So true.
It's like, okay. It sounds fun. Like it sounds great, but what does it mean? What does it all mean? Falling, they like fall and then get hurt, and then they crawl back up the coconut tree.
Yeah. I don't know about that one. I haven't read that one in a minute either.
Yeah. We'll probably we'll probably have a Venn diagram of books that we both know, but there'll also be, I know a lot of truck and boat books, and you'll probably know a lot of like princess, like,
right.
It's just the lore that you inevitably just fall into.
So true.
Because I know all about, where do excavators go to sleep? They go to sleep here. Where do dump trucks go to bed? They kiss their, it's just like,
that's so cute though.
That is cute.
I know. I'm excited for Benny to get older and to like read even more to her. But she already is like very enthralled with books. Like she loves to see
like the pictures and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fear we've girl boss too close to the sun with Case, because I had this baby book. What's it called? Baby led weaning book.
Oh,
for me. It was like a big book. He wants us to read it to him, Case, all the time. He's like, "Can you read me the baby food book?" I'm like, "So you start out at 6 months." Like, loves it.
Stop. That's actually hilarious.
It's like this big book. I'm like, okay.
A textbook.
Yeah.
He's like, "Please, mommy, again."
I'm like, the dictionary. Okay, smarty.
That is hilarious. I wanted to give a rough update or a quick recap of flying with Benny for the first
yeah.
time because it went really well. And I feel like I don't know, I was pleasantly surprised at how nice people are to you when you have kids. Like, I guess I've just never experienced that until having a child, obviously. But people are just so, for the most part, I feel like so many positive interactions, like so many more smiles at us because it's like, oh, how old, like soak in every moment. And I just feel like everyone kind of like notices you and is so nice when you have a baby. I really did
Especially
not.
on a plane.
Yeah, on a plane. Like I didn't expect that. I don't know. I guess I would think that people would be more like, oh, great, I'm sitting next to someone with a baby. You know what I mean? Like, are they going to cry? And literally this girl said to me when we were getting off the plane, she was like, baby's crying. That does not bother me at all. Like babies are just so pure and so cute. And I was like, that is so nice.
Yeah, no, it's true.
That's so nice to say that. On the way there, she pretty much slept the whole time. On the way back, she was like kind of a little bit restless because the flight was delayed.
Oh,
and so it kind of like didn't end up
worst.
lining up how we thought it would. So we were like trying to feed her, and then she like didn't want her pacifier, but I wanted her to be sucking on something when we were taking off.
Oh my gosh, that is literally like the most stressful thing.
And I'm like trying to put it in, and
like,
she's
we're
just
taking off. You're like,
I know. They're like, and buckle your seatbelts, and I'm like trying to put it in, and she's just like spitting it out. And I'm like, girly girl, now is the time I need you to be
sucking away
on it. But she had like, again, we had planned to feed her, but then it got delayed, so we had to feed her earlier. And I'm just like, ooh.
So they're not hungry. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a little bit more stressful, but still ended up being totally fine. And yeah, people were just so nice.
Yeah.
And it was a great overall experience. I feel like it definitely made me feel like traveling again, especially because there's two, like there's me and Leif and just one baby. I'm like, we can totally handle this. Like it made me a little bit more
like encouraged you to keep
I'm like,
going.
okay, we can totally go on flights with her. Like it's going to be fine. And I feel like even as she gets older, like she can be, I mean, I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch. I'm sure there'll be other challenges, but I feel like she will be able to be even more occupied by like a book or a toy or like holding something or a snack that I'm like, I feel like it will maybe hopefully get, like, I don't want to say easier because I know toddlers are like very restless sometimes, but you know what I mean? Yeah. Like right now, there's only so like much phases that can entertain her. Yeah. It's like if she's not happy, she's just not going to be really happy.
Exactly. The baby, it's like, it's more of a gamble.
Yeah.
Like toddlers, you're like, well, you know, you can kind of, if you really need to, you could like talk to them, you know, or like bribe them. Like the worst case, babies, you cannot do that.
No,
it's like
exactly.
Just a gamble.
It
if they're
is what it
crying and you
is.
can't figure it out, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Not that you should bribe your children, but I'm just saying like, or even kids, it's like they have a little more, you know, autonomy. So
totally. Yeah. Yeah. No, it was good though. And everyone was super nice.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's pleasant. I met the nicest person. Speaking of that, just reminded me, Nick and I were like we were walking to this like grocery store and we were outside. We had just gotten like some food and we were just eating outside with Case and Elwood. And he like walked up and was like, oh my gosh. He's like, look how blessed you guys are. Like, those are beautiful boys. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. He's like, I can't even like begin to explain like the joy that children bring. Like mine are all old. And like he said he had a son, or he had one, I can't remember if it was a son or daughter. And then he had triplets.
Wow.
Yeah. He's like, God bless me with triplets. Like, and it was the most fun. He's like, everyone says that it's so, you know, whatever. He was so positive and being so kind and like, those boys, like, those are gifts to you. Like, bless you guys. Like, this is going to be the best years of your life. I literally was like tearing up. I'm like, thank you so much. Like, this is
so
the
sweet.
most encouraging, nice thing for you to say when sometimes it's the opposite. Like, oh, got your hands full. Like, blah, blah. And he was like having triplets. He was like, oh my gosh. And then, you know, God played a trick on me and like something I can't remember. Basically like, oh, we thought we were only going to have 2 kids. And then our second kid was like a natural triplets. So he's like, and then it was the best thing ever. And blah, he's going on about it. But I was like, thank you, sir.
I know.
That was so nice to hear and literally brightened my day.
I do feel like old people either have like one of 2 reactions. It's like you got your hands full or like soak up every moment.
Yeah.
Like they miss when their kids were babies.
Yeah.
You know? I feel like that's why it's probably so magical for grandparents to have grandkids because it's like they're kind of reliving this like childlike. They're experiencing it again.
This
having
really
a child
special time
in their family.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. Babies really are just so precious and special and like just I was like, Leif and I were just talking the other day about how we feel like we smile so much more now than we like did before we had her, because she smiles constantly, and we always want her to smile, so we smile at her and then she smiles back, and it's like inevitably if you are smiling all the time, like it does something to your brain, like you're going to feel happier because you're constantly smiling. It's just like when you know, they say like smile at yourself in the mirror, and like it will
it's easier to smile at a baby.
Make yourself it will make you feel more positive. And I'm like, that's so nice that we just get this little person in our life that like we're constantly smiling at her and she's smiling back, and it literally gives us like this boost of serotonin and makes us feel happier throughout the day. Therefore, we do feel just happy. Yeah. Like in general in life.
No, it's so nice. It really is so fun. Especially just them at this early age, they are so pure and so like, what's the word? Like, no, like full of wonder. So that it makes you full of wonder. And you're like, you know, they've done that study on like stone-faced mothers. Have you ever seen that? Like stone-faced parents, basically how negatively it affects children's development when parents are stone-faced, like no expression. So like, go like, you know, just cold expression. And how important it is for babies, especially little babies, to see faces and to see like expressions and real, you know, emotions and things like that. It literally helps their brain develop. And ever since I read that, I'm like, oh my gosh, I always think about that. Like, especially if I'm feeling like overstimulated or something like that, it's like, okay, do not be a stone-faced mother. Like I make such an effort to be like overly exaggerating and expressive. And sometimes I posted about this on Instagram a while ago because I had taken like this really close-up picture right before my film camera died. But it was the clearest picture I got the whole trip of like a selfie. Like I literally took it last on my roll, but like my focus had been messed up. And then I think the focus was like really close. So it was clearer than I've ever seen my face before. And I was like, oh my gosh, I am getting some smile lines. Like I haven't had Botox because I've been, you know, pregnant, breastfeeding. Let me cook. And I was like, wait, this is so beautiful. Like I have so many lines now because I move my face all so much. Like it makes sense, and it makes me happy to see these lines that I know that I've been like, you know, so very expressive and overly like, I don't care if I look stupid or I don't care if I get wrinkles. Like I want to be, you know, very expressive for my kids to be like receptive to.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's so sweet.
But I will be getting Botox.
But we will be booking Botox soon.
Yeah. Just, you know, the scowl lines. It's not, I love the smile lines, especially like not to pick and choose. I'm like, this part of aging is cute, but this one's not. But the smile lines are so sweet.
Yeah.
Like on the eyes, the crow's feet.
I agree.
I do a lot.
As I was saying, like I'm like, kids are just so fun, and like when they smile at you, then I always just think about, I just do want to say this, not to bring down the mood, but I always just think about how when I would hear that and I was like going through infertility, I'm like, cool, so my life it like sucks. So I just want to shout out my infertility girlies to have you know that first of all, I'm thinking about you, I'm here with you, and also your life still has so much meaning if you don't have kids, and I want people to always know that. Like you don't need kids to fulfill a certain sense of meaning in your life. Like you are whole just as you are. But I just have to say that because I remember like when I would hear people just being like, kids, like what would we do without them? That's the only thing. I'd just be like, okay, so my life is pointless, literally.
Yeah, I can't get that.
And I can never get that sense of happiness. Like, so I just want you girls to know that, and I love you very much.
Oh, that's sweet. That's good to remember.
It is. It's like you are also a whole person, and there are so many ways that you can find happiness and joy in the interim when you're waiting for something that you really want. Like there are still so many things that can bring you joy.
Yeah.
And also even being around other people's kids, like not that
kids
that's
in
what,
general,
not that that solves your problem at all, but like I think even being around my friends' kids, it's like I could still get that sense of joy and wonder, you know.
Yeah, for sure. Like the innocence of youth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Puppies, dogs, animals. Yeah. Happiness is definitely attainable for everybody.
Yes. And it's so
fulfillment.
Like you said, in those, like in puppies and babies, it's just so pure. It's like anyone can have access
very
to
evident
that.
and easy to see.
Yes. Yes. Sorry to end the and the vibe a little, maybe a downer, but I just have to throw that out there. I would not feel right if I didn't. But anyway, we're going to end the podcast here. I feel like that was kind of all. Did you have anything else you wanted to get in?
No.
Okay. We're just kind of doing a little chatty catch-up episode. I do think that this might be our last episode here in my house. Potentially. Maybe there'll be another one. If there's another one, mind your business. But we're trying to get our set all set up. We're super excited about it. And we hope you guys are excited about it too. And yeah, go watch our YouTube videos if you're not already. It's a fun little cozy experience. And subscribe to us on Apple Podcast app, Spotify app. If you're interested, if you're feeling extra nice, you can give us a rating and review. We'd really appreciate it. We love you guys so much. And that's what we said. Bye.